Hello and welcome to the new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at the Buffed Fire Fang variant of Reshiram. As you might hear in my voice, I'm a little bit sick, but this will not stop us to take a look at this buffed Pokemon. We're going to have a team here. Well, Palkia on the lead. The safe swap is going to be the Reshiram, trying to bait out also Fairy type Pokemon, or if we're going to encounter Fairy type Pokemon on the lead, we're going to have a decent answer with that. As you'll see as well, there are going to be some Steel type Pokemon that we're going to be able to kind of Fire Fang down, like this Necrozma. We don't even have to use a shield here. This is clearly just a Dark Pulse. Doesn't really do as much damage, and we're going to see as well, we're going to generate quite some solid amount of energy here now as well, getting up to a Fusion Flare very, very fast. I think Fusion Flare is the same as Avalanche or also Side Strike in terms of the damage, which I think is like 45 to 90, like 45 energy to 90 damage, so it's a solid move, but if you can only get to one move, Draco Meteor is going to be the best move you can go for. As we will see here as well, Groudon is up against us. Groudon also one of the Pokemon that got a little bit of a buff, which I maybe want to take a look at as well here later on this channel. Not today, maybe tomorrow, we will find out. Yeah, eventually then. And as you can see here, the opponent tries to go for a cheeky play here, going for an Awkward Tail against us, trying to bait out a shield, but it doesn't work out for them as we can go for our own Awkward Tail. We're going to be able to go for the full Farm Down in time, and now it's just down to if we can Farm Down the opponent. And as we will see as well, we're going to get some Shadow Claw damage in. Mudshot doesn't generate energy as fast anymore, and they decide to go straight for the Pressure's Blade, which was his only win chance, and we're going to be able to win this battle. Next opponent, we're going to have Palkia on the lead, and this is something that definitely I kind of felt a lot of times where I don't feel like this is the best lead. Like Palkia itself was the Pokemon that kind of let me down the most here, I would say, and while there are Pokemon that you need to kind of beat, I feel like Palkia was not really doing a great job at it. So, yeah, for example, Landorus we would have needed our Palkia for. Here at least the opponent makes a big mistake by swapping out into the Necrozma, giving us a play there. But apparently we lose the CMP tie against Necrozma, making it a little bit of an awkward one. As we will see the Dark Pulse coming through, I can go for the Fire type move here. This is going to allow us to get the KO against them. And I'll try to now go for the full Farm Down basically against the Landorus just with my fast moves. And so we are going to be forced to use a shield here. But as you also see here, of course, we're going to get the debuff from the Sensia Storm. And I can only clear the debuff later. That's why I decided to go for a charge move here, so I can swap out afterwards and have a little bit more fast move pressure for the late game with Fire Fang. I'm not too sure what's going to work for us. We have to use a shield here again as well. We have to basically hope that we either get the opponent low enough with our fast move, which doesn't really look like it, or get 2 Dark Pulse off against them. And as we will see here, sadly, the Sensia Storm is going to be not enough to knock us out. Can we actually still get to another move here? Let's find out. We have 2 stored right now. Do we survive the fast move? We just barely don't, and this is going to lose us the battle. We need like 1 more HP to win the battle. Zygarde is up against us, and yeah, we have to kind of stay in for a little bit here at least. It's going to be a crunch. I could decide to swap out afterwards, but I am going to try to get the shield here first from the opponent. Very likely they're going to use a shield here for a potential spatial rent, which we don't have. Because we cannot use an elite TM to get this move, we are forced to go for Draco Meteor. This is a Shundo Palkia. I rather have a Shundo Palkia with Draco Meteor than like a non-Shundo variant there with the actual spatial rent. Of course, Spatial Rent does make more sense in terms of having it for PvP. It's definitely the better move to have on this Pokemon. But yeah, like how often do you get a Shadow? This is my only Shadow that I got from raids. I have a lot of other Shadows still, but like they are all just from like hatches mainly, from egg hatches actually. I got quite lucky with them. Or like research, I think I have like one of them as well. But yeah, this is my only raid Shundo here, was going to be this Palkia, and I did a lot of raids as well, so I'm definitely very happy about this boy. As you will see as well, Awkward Tail is coming through against the opponent's Groudon, allowing us to put them into Farm Down range for Fire Fang. They have Dragon Tail, and they have also, of course, Fire Punch here, or of course the Pressure's Blade, but they're very likely going to go for the bait as we have still 2 shields left, and we can go for the full Farm Down. And Reshiram is proving quite useful so far, and that's definitely something that we kind of want to talk a little bit about in this video as well, because this Pokemon has a very unique place, and thankfully the Fire Fang got buffed because this kind of helps this Pokemon out quite a bit in the Open Master League. So basically, before, Reshiram was in an awkward spot. Like, you have a lot of very good Dragon type Pokemon in this meta currently, a lot of Dragon Breath users, and if you compare the Reshiram as a Dragon Breath user compared to something like Dialga, to Palkia, or like then Dragon Tail, or something like the Zygarde, or even the Dragonite, it always kind of yeah, was not as strong as those. Like, it always kind of was a little bit awkward to use because you need 45 energy to get to the first move. I know the Zygarde are going to need 50 for the first move, but the Zygarde has a way better defensive typing with a Steel and Dragon typing. While, yeah, Reshiram is still going to have the Fire type, which is going to allow you to have neutral damage on Fairy type Pokemon, which is kind of important, as you will have here kind of nearly a mirror matchup here from the opponent as well, which is kind of hilarious. It is going to be a move here basically. Like Fire Fang is going to allow you basically to have a little bit more unique play with this Pokemon, allowing you to beat those Steel type Pokemon mainly, which is going to be interesting. Here we have to hope that the opponent decides to think that we're going to go for a bait, but we don't, and sadly they decide to use a shield here, forcing them to go for a Dracomedia as well at this point. But it's going to look a little bit difficult for us to still win this battle. Let's see here, Dracomedia is coming through. In comes the opponent's Necrozma, as we said before, like it's kind of nearly a mirror matchup as well here, and we will try our best to still knock them out. But Dark Pulse sadly kind of misses out on the KO here. If we would have been able to go for the full farm down, we very likely would have been able to win the battle. But it is what it is, as the outrage is going to connect here. We're going to see that we're going to go down. Next opponent, we're going to have a lead here that I do like because we have a weakness to this Pokemon in the back, and they're going to go to the Necrozma, allowing us to go into the Reshiram. I actually thought of going for Stone Edge on Reshiram as well. This Pokemon learns Stone Edge, allowing you to hit those flying type Pokemon for super effective damage, and I don't think a lot of people know about it. But at the end of the day, like, I don't know, like you need it for Ho-Oh maybe. This is like the only real Pokemon that you can hit with this, but Ho is still a very neutral matchup nonetheless, so I don't really know if Stone Edge makes a lot of sense on the Reshiram, but I know that a lot of people don't even know that this Pokemon learns Stone Edge. But as you can see as well, Fusion Flare is coming through. It is going to get the shield from the opponent's Yveltal. I tried to go for a Dracomedia, it doesn't work out, but I can still go for another Fusion Flare. Again, Dracomedia does, I think, like 40 more damage total compared to the Fusion Flare, so it's still a very, very strong move to go for and still to have. Better than I feel like Crunch. Crunch doesn't really make a lot of sense on this Pokemon. As you'll see here, there's going to be a Dialga in the back, which you should be able to deal with. I decided to go for the Sunsteel Strike, hoping this is going to put them into a range where I can farm them down afterwards. And as you will see, I feel like it is going to be exactly that range. Sunsteel Strike does more damage than Dark Pulse, guaranteed, but it is going to be, of course, yeah, needs a little bit more energy, but we hope that we can go for the full farm down, which we cannot by 1 HP again here, which is really annoying. It's going to be just the Iron Head, but I don't know if this is going to completely seal the deal for the opponent. We should still be able to win the battle, as he can go for that Sunsteel Strike. We will see the shield coming up, and we have an Awkward Tail stored for the Yveltal, allowing us to win this battle. Let's see what the next opponent is going to have here. We're going to have Palkia against Palkia, and again, I don't really like the Palkia on my own side. Also, of course, because we don't have Spatial Rent. Like in those mirror matchups, like Spatial Rent is really needed, because otherwise you're going to struggle quite a bit. Here the opponent catches the move onto the Zacian, and I make a big mistake here, because I did not look which fast move the opponent has. And they actually have Fire Fang, which I did not expect at all. And of course, if I went into my Reshiram, I would have been able to double resist that move. And I would have been able to fully farm them down, get a million energy, and I basically instantly win the battle. Like literally instantly win the battle. I was hoping they would use a shield here, but they didn't. And so they're going to reveal the Tapu Lele in the back. They basically get a free fast move in here thanks to lag. Like I would have been able to get one more Shadow Claw in. I'm not too sure if it's going to be Mana Ring later on, but I should have got a little bit more damage onto the opponent's Tapu Lele here. But lag kind of denied this for us. They swap out into the Palkia. I'm kind of forced to keep my Reshiram healthy, as this is my best asset here basically as well. I'm going to try my best to farm them down, which does work out. I try to go for an Awkward here, which also does work out, but it's not really looking too great for us. We have to hope basically here that the opponent is running Psyshock. If they run Moonblast or Focus Blast, this game is over. I usually run Psyshock just to have a little bit of a faster coverage, but as you will see here, the opponent goes ahead and goes for a Charge Move. We have actually 2 Charge Moves stored, so if we get the next move off, we're going to be able to win. Nature's Madness doesn't do it, a Psyshock doesn't do it. Let's see what they have here. It is Focus Blast, and that is going to knock us out. That was definitely a battle that we should have won if we, knew that the opponent had Fire Fang on their Zacian. So Zacian with Fire Fang would be also an interesting Pokemon to showcase as well still for this meta here. But let's take a look at the Yveltal. Yveltal is going to take some nice damage from our fast move, but also from our charge move. The opponent has the better fast move still. They do generate energy a little bit faster than we do. They need 5 more energy as well, but then just generally speaking going to outspeed us basically all the time. Making it a little bit of an awkward matchup, but also I think they could farm me all the way down here if they wanted to before I get to another move. And so I'm kind of thankful that the opponent goes for a charge move here. Also getting their Yveltal very, very low is going to be very helpful for us. As we have now a shield advantage, we can swap out out into our Necrozma, and as you'll see here in the back is going to be the Rhyperior, and I make a mistake. I should have went for a shield here. I should have went for a shield. I thought that the Primarina had a little bit more energy than it actually had here, and this is definitely a mistake, because I feel like if I stayed in, like it didn't get the Rock Wreck onto me, I would have forced the opponent to go for a charge move, and I think I would have done enough damage here to put them into range for my Palkia. Here the shield doesn't really help me because I can go for the full farm build, so this was a big mistake by me, but also I'm doing my battles while I'm quite sick, so I don't really want to put everything onto it, so you're most likely going to see a little bit more misplays in the next few days as well. Sorry about that, but it is what it is. It's the winter time, like most people get sick, I feel like. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. It's just a cold though, like it's not like it's going to be anything crazy. So as you're going to see here, the Zygarde is going to be up against us. We're going to have the Aqua Tail coming through here, trying to bait a shield, which does work out at least, which is kind of nice. I can go for another Aqua Tail straight afterwards. Of course, yeah, this is of course no spatial rent, the opponent knows that, and they're gonna let the move go through, but at least we're going to be able to get the opponent kind of low, and I'll actually die on an Aqua Tail. If I got this move through, I would have been in such a great spot, either getting the KO, which would never happen, but getting both shields would have been so great for us. We are forced to let the move go through here. It's very likely going to be the crunch, exactly, and we can go for... I could have actually went for a no shield here, but it's a little bit too risky to rely completely on that Reshiram, and I'd rather get some energy advantage here. I have a lot of energy advantage, which is actually really good for us. Let's see what they have in the back. It's going to be the Ho-Oh, which is not great. Not great at all. We have to hope that there's going to be something in the back that we can deal with as well. They decide to go for a charge move here. It's very likely going to be the Brave Bird, so we decide to use a shield. Brave Bird is coming through, and they're going to swap on into the Necrozma. That's actually winnable for us. We go up to 100 energy with our Reshiram. This is going to be great. Fusion Flare is coming through, and I make a mistake here by going for the Draco Meteor. This is usually the correct play though, because like this is going to force the opponent to either go for a shield or get the knockout. But I have to kind of redeem myself here by swapping out onto the Brave Bird, and this is going to be perfect, as this is going to not knock them out or like knock us out, but we can still go for a Sunsteel Strike, which allows us to get the KO here, and we can move on to the second to last battle. Next one is going to be a Palkia in the lead again, and a Palkia, of course. Our Palkia is in the lead. Surprising. Like, yeah, my brain currently definitely does function perfectly. We got to see the Zacian against us, of course, in the lead. Having access to close combat and quick attack is a bit awkward if you want to swap out. In comes the Zygarde though, and this is going to be great for us because we at least still have the Draco Meteor here. And this is why I don't like Zygarde. There is no reason why a Reshiram with one of the highest attack stats in the game, with the hardest hitting move in the game with Draco Meteor, a super effective hit, does not knock out the opponent's Zygarde. How is this like okay? Like, how is this okay that Zygarde is so insanely bulky that even a super effective stab Draco Meteor from one of the hardest hitting Pokemon is not enough to one-shot a Zygarde? Like, it is ridiculous. Like, this should not be really a thing, but yeah, Zygarde is a bit too overpowered. In comes the Dialga. We're going to be in a really, really bad spot now because the opponent still has the alignment basically. They're going to have still the answer for our Palkia in the back with the Zacian, and so we kind of have to rely that we can swap out into the Palkia eventually here. We get the shield, which is going to be very important as we're going to try to swap out soon, but the opponent decides to go for a charge move beforehand, which is going to be a bit of an awkward one. The Raw of Time is coming through. I can swap out now. I try my best to go for the full farm down. We need to get this farm down done, and we don't. By 1 HP again. And this is something that happened to me quite often. I feel like I was quite unlucky with like how matchups played out today. I wanted to go for one extra fast move here, which I did not get through because the game lagged a bit. And this actually does not allow us to go for the Aqua Tail here. Maybe I would have not got there anyway. It doesn't really matter anyway. But yeah, this was a very, very annoying and very, very close. But it is what it is. The opponent going to be able to go for the knockout here. This was literally just 1 HP that decided the game here. Dialga gets us in the lead. As said before, like, we just did not really get great leads with Palkia. Palkia was kind of my worst Pokemon on this team, I have to say. This was the Pokemon I didn't like at all really here today. Even though, like, it did some parts at least like a job here. It was kind of important for the team building itself. But it just was not as great, I have to say. It just wasn't really good. Anyway, we're going to try to take some advantage of the scenario that we're in, because we can use a shield here. We're going to be able to shield up the Raw of Time, and we're going to get an energy advantage. And this energy advantage is going to be very good because the Dark Pulse here is going to now knock out the opponent, and we have basically another Dark Pulse stored already. And you know the damage of Sunsteel Strike is going to be insane, but sadly they're going to have in the back here a Kyogre. This is basically the worst possible Pokemon I could imagine, I guess. yeah, it is basically the worst possible Pokemon I could imagine. So, yeah, we're going to be able to go ahead and go for another Dark Pulse here. Not really doing a lot of damage and getting the shield from the opponent, as you're going to see as well. We don't get to another move, and we are forced to swap out into our Reshiram, but luckily, we are going to shield up the move here because it's going to be the Blizzard, and they swap out into the Necrozma, which we can overfarm by a little bit and go for the Fusion Flare to knock them out straight away. There's no way to survive this one. Reshiram is taking some KOs here, and we're going to see the Kyogre coming back in. And thanks to Surf needing a little bit more energy, we're going to be able to outspeed them, go for a Fusion Flare, knock them out, and this continued for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, even with my voice currently being a little bit sick, but we'll see you then. Bye bye.